Welcome once again to the Ben Smith Coaches Show here on the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey, coming to you tonight from Studio H12, being joined by, of course, as always, Coach Ben Smith, head coach of the Bradley Wrestling Program, and he brought along with his wrestlers today. Coach, introduce your
wrestler. This is Junior Austin McClure. He is our heavyweight. He's actually one of the first, he will be, as long as Lord doesn't come back and the creek don't rise, he'll be the first four-time starter at heavyweight that we've probably had in the history of our program. Yeah, starting as a heavyweight freshman is rare, and it doesn't happen a lot. And we've got quite a few state champions at heavyweight, so he joins a pretty strong pedigree, pretty strong tradition there. But just finished third this past weekend at the state tournament.
Congratulations!
Yeah, he had a great tournament, and as I was teaching my last class and thinking about who I wanted to bring, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna, me and Austin, we go way back. His family and I are pretty good friends, and a summer job I was working a few years ago, his dad worked there, and he came in as a sixth grader, and he was a big kid then, and his dad's a big guy, and mom's, she's not small either, just big people, and I'm like, who is this kid? And I'm like, oh, that's our son.
He could be a heavyweight.
He needs to wrestle, and so it all kind of comes full circle with Austin, and he probably should have been a state medalist last year, but we finally got his name on the board. He finally got his name on the board this past weekend. So I thought, man, what better fit than to have Austin join me today?
Well, Austin, what's your background? When did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling my 7th grade year. That summer was the year that I had learned about wrestling from Coach Smith.
Where did you start wrestling at? What school?
Lake Forest Middle School with head coach down there, Ryan Insminger. He's a really good coach too. He's who brought me through all of it. He put me through everything in the summer to bring me where I am.
Well, as a heavyweight wrestler now, how big can you be? Is there a weight limitation to how big you can be?
285.
280? So what do you weigh, if I may ask?
About anywhere from 255 to about 265.
So now that season's over, you just go out and eat all you want to and enjoy.
I usually do.
But as a heavyweight, you don't have to control your weight anyway.
He could do that anyway.
Yeah, as heavyweight, I guess. That's the difference between you and some of those little guys that have to maintain their weight.
That's right, yeah.
I'd be a good heavyweight. That's what I'd want to be.
Right.
If I were.
Well, he's a great teammate. I mean, a lot of times, pre-match and, the day before, some heavyweights will come in, eating a Subway sandwich or a bag of Taco Bell or whatever, and you got these guys that haven't.
They're starving. They're drooling.
They're fasting, so to speak. He does a great job of not rubbing that in his teammates' face, which is why he was one of my team leaders this year. He's a great teammate. We do a spotlighting activity leading up to the state duels every year, where we kind of have we have one individual spotlighted at the end of every practice, and the team has an opportunity to tell them what they appreciate the most about them or what they value in them. And the majority of his teammates, on top of his work ethic and his example, but a lot of them are, man, he's a great teammate. He's always got our team's back, and so that's why he's got a really bright future in and out of the program ahead of him.
Well, third this year, maybe have the first place next year.
Well, both the finalists at his weight class are both graduating seniors, so he did himself a favor by.
So there's no excuses then now.
No. If there is one, we'll find it at some point, I'm sure. But there's going to be a lot of work between now and then. But on paper, he's the highest returning medalist next year.
Well, let's talk about how things went for you last week. State tournament down in Chattanooga. I know we didn't win. It come in third, I guess. If you compile all the team points together, but and it's kind of tongue in cheek as we say that, but there's 95 other teams that would have loved to have finished where we were. And with our history. Third sometimes, third isn't what we go there for, and anybody that watches the show or knows me or knows the program, we're there to win state titles, and that was probably slim to a none chance with what Cleveland had and what we saw out of Wilson Central this year, but success usually has to be defined by our effort and by did we do what we were supposed to do? And the answer to both of those is our effort was outstanding. We took 9 kids and we walked away with 7 medals. 6 of those 7 are coming back.
did we overachieve? For us to have finished second, or for us to even have had a shot at Cleveland, we had to really overachieve. And we overachieved in a lot of spots. And Wilson Central gave us some chances to creep up on them, and we were ahead of them the majority of the day. And then we just kind of ran out of bullets. But our effort was good. We thought we could medal 9. We had to have some luck to do that, but we walked away with 7 medals, 6 of which are coming back, and we were a match or 2 away from finishing with that runner-up trophy. And I think we've set ourselves up for, like I've talked about before, next year and the year after have kind of been what we've been looking forward to in the grand scheme of things. So it's a little bit disappointing that we didn't finish second or third at the duels, or finish second this weekend. To a lot of people, but to us, I was at church Sunday answering questions in and out of the service, and I'm like, hey, you guys don't get it. Like there's been, I counted this morning, there's been 3 or 4 years of our 26 state titles where 7 state medalists won the tournament. Wilson Central was really good this year. Cleveland was exceptionally good. We are really good. Like, you've got 3 just stud teams, between us and 4th. Summit was able to finish 3rd at the duels because we didn't get to wrestle back for 3rd. They weren't in. We showed that us and Cleveland and Wilson Central are we're better than everybody.
Talk about Bree and Rachel.
Oh yeah, getting to them, man. Friday was a great day.
Bree Pontes and Rachel Wood.
Yeah, our girls. The girls' state tournament was on Thursday, and, our expectations were so high for them that I almost felt like, hindsight being 2020, we probably overpressured them. It was not the day that they wanted to have. They still both finished in the top 8 of the state tournament, which is outstanding. Rachel hasn't wrestled since the 6th grade and really hasn't wrestled since then. Like, even then it was half a season. Brianna has been a 15-month wrestler. And to have 2 girls finish in the top 8 of the state tournament, there's programs there that have had programs for a decade now that only had 2 girls there. I had more conversations Friday at the guys' tournament about what we're doing on the girls' tournament. And I'm like, guys, we only had 2 qualifiers. I went from 2 girls to 6, 1 qualifier to 2, but everybody sees what we're doing. Yeah.
They want some of that, huh?
And they're like, oh man, here they come. And then that bridges into, we've had a 2nd, 3rd, or a 1st place finish in the state tournament every year since the mid-90s.
Wow.
And so people are going like, it's 1 decade, okay, 2 decades, okay, 3 decades, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And it's not.
Got to be doing something right.
Got to be doing something right. And the trouble is, in this town, a lot of times, if you don't win a state title or you don't beat Cleveland, you don't feel like you're doing anything right. But the fact of the matter is these guys wrestled their hearts out on Friday. My girls wrestled their tails off on Thursday. And
Bree and Rachel both be back, won't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we've got the other 3 girls coming back. We have another medalist from the previous season, Taren Patterson, who we've had on the show before. He was probably at the toughest weight class in the state tournament, and he wrestled well and just didn't place this year. But he'll be coming back. So we've got 7 virtual, like, state medalists coming back out of 14 weight classes. That's pretty good. We've got 3 other state qualifiers that qualified. Again, this year being the year of COVID, only the top 2 go. But we've got 3 other state qualifiers coming back. So we're going to have 10 or 11 state qualifiers come back.
Wow.
7 state medals. So we're not going to go away quietly.
Oh, no, I hope you don't. We better not.
No.
Do you expect your guys, these are young growing kids, will they be moving up in weight classes, you think, over the course between now and next season? Or
yeah. Most of them have outside of Austin, who is our heavyweight, who's 25 pounds underweight, most of the guys have probably put on anywhere from 10 to 25 pounds of just natural. Now, a lot of that was them maintaining, and then a lot of it now is water weight, where they've gorged themselves from 4 months of cutting weight. But Ethan Lipsey placed 3rd this weekend. I saw him this morning. He weighed in at 115 pounds on Friday. This morning he weighed 135.
Wow.
Yeah. Luke Belcher was a state runner-up.
Been putting away some groceries.
Yeah, yeah. Luke Belcher was a state runner-up at 138 pounds. He weighed in at 140 on Friday, and he, I would say he's probably knocking on 155, 160 this morning.
Okay. Well,
so, yeah, these guys have put some weight on.
Austin, what's the toughest thing about being in a program? I mean, what's the hard part that you just don't really have a lot of fun doing, I guess?
Probably
and speak freely. I mean, the season's over. You can't do anything to you now.
Practice. I don't really care for the practicing, but I know it makes me better. So I know if I push myself in there, I'll be better on the mat.
Well, that's where you win. Practice. I mean,
Austin loves to compete. He doesn't dislike practice. It just gets old. It gets old for the coaches. You know, I mean, it's a drag. When our season got extended a week, Austin was one of them that I was worried about because he loves to hunt. He's a Bradley boy. He loves to hunt. He loves to fish. He loves to go drive his Jeep and his trucks in the mud and the woods. And wrestling's a grind. I mean, at this point, you know, for him to have stayed in the pocket and to stay disciplined, and really the third that he got was a reflection of his practice. Like, he probably will tell you, you know, he struggled this time the past couple years of staying clocked in. He stayed clocked in this state tournament run.
Showed up too.
And buddy, it showed up, didn't it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So I think he's probably. I mean, I think he had a great practice partner this year with one of my assistants, Austin Matthews. Had a lot to do with that third this weekend. You can probably speak to that.
Him, Coach Matthews, Coach Blackman, Coach Anglin, all of them helping me out. But mainly, yes, Coach Matthews helping me, being there almost every day, going with me, pushing me.
Well, that's a pretty good competition there for
That's pretty
experienced competition.
That's pretty good competition. Yeah.
And show the youngster, you know, how to do things, I guess. There.
That's right.
Well, now in your off season, what do you and your team do? What will you be doing with the team as a team? Be doing things throughout the off season. Tell us a little bit about that.
So today I hang up my wrestling hat and I put on my track coaching hat. So I'll be going to track today. I was here this morning. I'll be more of a supplementary role moving forward for the next 12 weeks or so. But I'll be doing a lot of the morning stuff for the guys that want to get the extra stuff in and the extra early stuff. Coach Blackman and Coach Matthews that he referenced, along with Coach Anglin, will be handling. We'll lift 3 days a week, and then we'll be on the mat 2 days a week. Now, in April and May, there is a USA Wrestling Schedule season, which is freestyle and Greco. It's the international style. If you watch the Olympics this summer, that's the style that they wrestle. Actually, Austin is pretty competitive in both of those styles. So technically, Coach Blackman and Coach Matthews are giving them this week and next week off because we don't compete again until mid-April. So we're going to give them a little bit of a break because this was, I mean, between COVID, quarantines, contact tracing, I mean, and these guys have been working hard since August.
It's been a nightmare.
We're going to give them a little bit of a break here. And the first thing he said to me when he came off the mat was, "I'm about to go fishing." You know, I want him to go fishing. I want him to go hunting. I want him to, you know, because we live a lot of that same life. You know, I told him if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll go four-wheeling together, and I'm gonna let them take me up to Jackson River, and we'll go four-wheeling and have some fun. But when we come back from spring, now we're going to meet Thursday. The coaches and I are going to meet Tuesday evening. We're going to meet with the guys on Thursday, and we're going to lay out our schedule. My expectations for these guys moving forward, and I think Austin will tell you, if he's going to be the number one ranked state heavyweight, which he virtually is, he's got to get stronger. Oh, yeah. And I think his emphasis will be getting stronger, committing to the weight room, and then he'll probably wrestle some freestyle Greco when we can fit it in, and then when we do our summer dual schedule in June, because he is a potential state captain for next year, I'll need him to kind of anchor that kind of summer program. Our Pride, our kids club, I know you was wanting to ask about that, so I'll just go ahead and jump into that.
Sure.
We had the middle school regional tournament Saturday, and what did we have? We had 10 or 11 guys go, and we had 9 or 10 qualify for the middle school state tournament. And so the majority of those kids are rising 8th grade, they're rising freshmen. So those guys will be with us in June. Coach Insminger, Coach Hicks, and Coach Russell do a great job with those guys. And then Coach Logsden's jumping in there with some of his advanced kids clubbers. And so, I mean, it never stops. Yeah. It never stops. But we're going to give the high schoolers a break because, man, they've earned it. And we need it.
been a long season.
It's been a long season, you know, because here's the thing. If I don't give him a break now, when he wants one in May or June when I really need him, he'll take it.
Yeah.
And we don't want butt heads, do we, Austin?
That Greco wrestling you're talking about, how different is it from what we see in the...
A lot.
Oh, it's a lot different. It's
techniques and all that
it's different techniques. So like the Greco-Roman is all upper bodies. There's no leg attacks. You know, you can't use your legs really for anything other than standing up and driving. You know, so it's all upper body, over underhook type stuff. But then freestyle, it's a lot like the scholastic style of wrestling. It's just a different scoring system. And Austin will tell you, I mean, I really enjoyed wrestling freestyle Greco in college. I wrestled for an Olympian and a freestyle world champion, and really got exposed to it then. And you don't have to be, you have to be in really good shape, but it's a different kind of shape. But it's fun. It's laid back. You know, like I said, we'll practice 1 or 2 days a week, and then we'll go wrestle and see what happens, and then we'll practice a day or two and we'll go wrestle again. And so it's fun. It's fun. But if you watch the Tokyo Olympics this summer, you'll see freestyle Greco.
Oh, okay. We'll have to check that out there.
Yeah, man.
Well, we want to thank you for taking time to join us as always on our weekly show here. And Austin, thank you for joining us. Good. Congratulations on 3rd place.
Thank you.
We're counting on a championship next year. So keep
We'll
that.
just get him a haircut between now and then.
No.
At least he's got hair, you know.
That's a good. I know, right? Yeah.
But enjoyed doing the shows again, and we'll be back with you soon. Until next time, this is Gary Ownbey. I'm being your host here for the Ben Smith Coaches Show. We'd like to wish everyone well. Stay safe. And until next time, God bless and go Bears.